With the Splatoon 3 North American League regular season by Nintendo coming up, I want to give you all a crash course on the top teams to look out for this upcoming season. This will include the team's names, stats, and information on the players. Let's not delay and get right into it. First off, we have to talk about Moonlight. This is probably the most popular team in the Splatoon competitive scene at the moment, and for good reason. This team has a great atmosphere with being good players and people. For stats, before Riptide 2025, Moonlight won 2 in-person events back-to-back, and those include MomoCon 2025 and Get On My Level 2025, GOML for short. As well, from every Splatoon tournament they have played since April 2024, they have only fallen out of the top 8 once, and that was their first tournament, and even then, it was 9th place in one of the most stacked events of all time. The members of Moonlight include Shadowwind, a Tentebrella player who sometimes occasionally plays shooters like the Splash-O-Matic. SS Nolan, a midline player who mostly plays the 96 Gal, but also occasionally plays the S-Blast and Splattershot Pros. Basil, a Sniper player who wishes she was on one-shot chargers like E-Leader. However, Sniper is the most common and best weapon in the meta at the moment. Omega, an aggro prodigy with playing weapons like the Mint Decapitator and Carbon Roller Deco. And finally, their coach, and sometimes player, Pro Chara. Yes, the YouTuber one. Chara also has competed in Nintendo events before actually managing to get second place in the 2019 North American Championship, only falling to our next team, FT Win. FT Win, much like Moonlight, is a very common team name when talking about the best of the best. FT Win has gone to the World Championships in 2019 and getting second place, barely losing in Grand Finals by a couple games. For more stats, this team has been North American champions 7 times. Do you want to know how many North American championships there was? 9. There has only been 2 events where some sort of FT Win roster hasn't been the winner. This team roster is stacked. And if you know competitive Splatoon, you will know the first player on this roster. Kyo. Kyo is a slosher player who plays mostly all of the sloshers in its class, but primarily sticking to the regular slosher and tri-slosher. As for the rest of the roster, we have Biscuit. Biscuit is the designated Sniper Rider player for FT Win, while also playing the Dapple Dualies for the maps where the Sniper Rider is not the best option. Burt/Bursty. Bursty is a Splat Dually player for FT Win, and is one of the more older generations of players alongside Kyo and Biscuit. However, for our last player, it might not be the same case. Sam. Sam is the youngest top-level player and plays 2 out of the 3 Splatanas in the class. Those 2 are Splatana Stamper and Splatana Wiper, with Splatana Stamper being the more common choice of weapon, usually the stickers variant. Next team I want to talk about is more of an underdog team. This team is called Healthy Diet Food Groups. This team has been on the slow and steady rise for a while now, managing to qualify for the community's most coveted Splatoon tournament, Sendoku Finale. Consistently. Out of the 8 Sendoku Finales, they have qualified for 6 of them. This is crazy consistency. As well, Healthy Diet Food Groups runs a, let's just say, interesting comp and playstyle. For the roster of Healthy Diet Food Groups, we have Ziff, the support of the team, and likes to play short-range shooters like NZAP and Splattershot Jr. Ziff will play the NZAP if necessary, but they are most notorious for their Splattershot Jr. gameplay. Stans, a Splatana Stamper one-trick. Stans plays all the variants of Splatana Stamper, but I think the most interesting thing about Stans is that they play the Splatana Stamper Nouveau, an option most players don't dare to touch. Eevee, a Carbon player one-trick. Eevee often looks for openings and does that well by playing with the little paint they have. As well, another thing about Eevee is that they play a not-so-common variant of Carbon Roller, the Carbon Roller Angle. Like the Splatana Stamper Nouveau, most players don't dare to pick this variant due to the other kit being better. And to round out the roster, we have Blopwire, a Bamboozler player. Yes, you heard that right, a Bamboozler player. This weapon is not played at all in this level of play by any other player and is considered the second worst charger, right behind YouTuber. So we were talking about interesting team compositions on weapons, and I think the next team we will be seeing will also have an interesting team composition, if not the most interesting among all these top level teams. This roster is none other than Hypernova. Hypernova is more of a new team with new talent, but has already made a name for themselves, most notably being able to consistently take down the roster of Moonlight. As well, they have also made many Sendo Q finales. This roster includes Henlo, a Splatoon wiper one-trick. Henlo is very good at running in and dying with a purpose. You do not want to let the copious amounts of quick respawn on Henlo's gear fool you. Synapse, a previous 52 gal player turned into a Dapple Doolies player. However, the most interesting thing about Synapse is that they don't actually play the vanilla version with Tacticooler and Beacons. They play the other two versions. The reason why this is a shock is that previously players only played the vanilla version due to Tacticooler being the best special in the entire game. I will actually be making another video on the meta of competitive Splatoon 3 and what common themes we will be seeing. If you are interested in that, make sure to subscribe. I am very close to 1,000 subscribers and hope to hit it by the end of the year. Anyways, back to Hypernova's roster. For our third player, we have Fishy. Fishy is a big swig user. Yes, that is right. The worst weapon in the roller class is being played by a top level team. In my opinion, the only reason why I can see Big Swig being better than Dynamo Roller is because of players like Fishy and others in Japan, who have pushed this weapon farther than anyone has ever seen. As well, if push comes to shove, Fishy will also whip out the Squeezer. For the final member, we have the resident Sniper player, Captain Happy. Captain Happy alongside Fishy is a new up-and-coming player and is also a young player just turning 17. Fun fact, Captain Happy was actually previously on the same team as Stans from Healthy Diet Food Groups, Wipeout Punks. They actually did coach me as well. Now for our next team, we have another team that can be considered underdogs, but I think in this event, they can really shock the world. Freeflow. Freeflow is a team that has been on the rise as of lately, actually qualifying for the community-ran World Championships called the Splat World Series. This roster is also an all-black player team, which is very cool to see. And speaking of rosters, for the roster of the NA League, we have Jovan/JJ. JJ is a mixed bag when it comes to weapon choices with having an array of skills. He does play the Splatoon Wiper, Octobrush, and his most infamous weapon, the Splatbrella. JJ is most popular for pushing a weapon that has been generally overlooked for multiple years, and most recently after its buff, is becoming more of a prominent weapon. This may affect the success of Freeflow in the future as well. Swish, a Tentabrella one-trick just like Shadow. Swish has been a high-level player for quite a long time now. I don't know exactly how long, but it has been quite a bit. Swish is also a basketball fan, just like me. Parks, a Splatling player. Parks can play both the heavy Splatlings and heavy edit Splatlings as well. This also means that Parks is the Tacticooler player for Freeflow. Speaking of Tacticooler, we also have Cakes. Now, to me, it seems like the duo of Cakes and Parks will be switching in and out of the play due to Cakes also playing heavy edit Splatling and Sniper. However, I have seen Cakes on Splash-O-Matic and NZAP, so we could see a heavy Splatling NZAP combo, or heavy edit Splatling Splash-O-Matic combo. For our fifth and final player, we have Adapt. Adapt plays all the short-range blasters. That means Blaster and yes, Luna Blaster. As well, Adapt plays the Slosher class, most notably the Tri-Slosher, Sloshing Machine, and Slosher. However, I would definitely be looking out for his Luna. It is a very scary option and also very fun to watch. Next, we have more of a team that actually has Nintendo accolades, Duck Motif. Duck Motif is a bit of an older team, but has been to the North American Championships before. This roster is actually super similar to the one that made it to the North American Championships as well. This roster consists of the following players. Red Shell, a veteran Octobrush player. He can also play the paintbrush as well. Red Shell has been a top player for as long as I can remember. Like, this guy has been a top player since Splatoon 2. Drift Team, a shooter player. Drift is a very good shooter player who has played shooters like the Splattershot and 52 gal, but has recently been playing the not-so-new Splattershot Pro, the Frozen Splattershot Pro. Drift has been a high-level player for a long period of time, often being on teams with Red Shell. Kino, the Tacticooler player. However, it's not your typical tactical or option of Sniper or Heavy at Splatling. It is the NZAP. Kino alongside Red Shell is one of the players on the original roster of that North American Championship team. Next we have Bandit. Bandit plays one-shot chargers like the E-Leader and ZNF Splatter Scope. Due to this, Kino is on the NZAP. See, every team is basically required to have a tactical player, and usually it is the backliner. However, Duck Motif is different by having their backliner be a one-shot charger. For our final player, we have Kara, another creator like me. Kara often plays the same weapon as Drift, the Frozen Splatter Shot Pro. Due to this, I believe we will be seeing roster switches between Drift and Kara. However, Kara isn't a one-trick like Drift, and can also play the Splatoon Tapering Squeezer. Next up is the Ladder Demons. This team on paper is the most likely to not do as well. However, on the ladder format, they have been seen to be unstoppable. This team's name is Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. This team has taken sets off of previous high-level teams in ladder formats, and has even won events with over 50 teams. This team consists of Krakenmare, an Ink Rush player. For the longest time, Kraken has been an Ink Rush one-trick, but recently he has decided to play a bit of Undercover Brella? What? Undercover Brella? Yes. It's also the vanilla one. The one that has been considered the worst weapon in all of Splatoon 3 for the longest time, and is still considered by many the worst weapon in Splatoon 3. Next up is Vapor, an Explosher one-trick. Just like Healthy Diet Food Groups and Hypernova, TZS is shaping up to have a pretty interesting team composition. Explosher is the backline weapon, and it doesn't have tactical. So, what weapon will be their tactical option? Tri-Slosher Nouveau. Yes, not an NZAP like Duck Motif, a Tri-Slosher by none other than DRF. DRF is actually the founder of the College Splatoon 3 League and is still a head TO to this day. Speaking of TOs, our next player is the organizer of an in-person event, Pepe. Pepe is a Splattershot one-trick and actually plays the weapon in such a unique way. Usually people who play the Splattershot play in a supportive way of painting for their teammates and using specials, but Pepe plays in an aggressive way, and this is due to Pepe's insane level of mechanical skill. For the final player, we have Smork. Smork is the support player of the team playing Splattershot Jr. and could potentially play any other shooters. Now, TZS has been a long-standing team, but next we have a team that has been on the rise as of lately, Envy. Envy is a team that is currently, at the time of writing this script, on such a hot streak to where in the last 10 events they've played in, they have gotten first place 9 times out of 10, and the one time they didn't win, they got second place. Most of these events have a high number of signups, and being some of the most coveted weekly wins in Splatoon 3. This brand new team rising to the top has the roster of Teeny, a Slosher class player who can also play the Rapid Blaster. Teeny plays in a very aggressive playstyle and actually for the longest time played with no mic, which means no team communication, but they communicate now. Also, for weapons, Teeny used to play the Splatana Wiper, so we could actually see that weapon come out as well. Gimme, a Dapple Dualies player. Gimme swaps between both the vanilla version and the Nouveau version. It all depends on what this next player plays. Next up is Sky, a Charger player. Sky plays all long-range one-shot chargers like E-Leader, its variants, and Splatterscope, and its variants. Sky also plays Sniper as well. So if Sky plays Sniper, Gimme plays the Dapple Dualies Nouveau, but if Sky plays a one-shot charger, Gimme plays the vanilla Dapple Dualies. Next up is Tickle, a Splatana player who I found to be very underrated for a long time. I'm very happy to see that Tickle has been climbing higher in these ranks with their new team. To round out our roster, we have Cap, a Splattershot Jr. one-trick. Cap has been on a lot of notable previous high-level teams and actually has been on a team with stands from Healthy Diet Food Groups as well. However, it wasn't the same team where Captain Happy was also on the roster. I believe the name was the Grimace Shakers. Now, for our final team, it is a team that is also title contenders, with having official world champions and North American champions. Milky Way. Now, some of you may know the name because it is similar to Starburst and kind of has a mixed roster of players between Starburst and Jackpot. Now, this video isn't a discussion on the situation regarding Jackpot and their eligibility to play, because it frankly isn't my place to make comments. I'm here just to tell you all the facts and the stats of the team said to be participating. For our first player, we have Bran, the captain and slosher player for Milky Way. Bran plays the vanilla slosher and dabbles in the Splashomatic. Bran has been a competitive player for a total of 10 years. Next up is Ice. Ice is a backline player who, you guessed it, plays Snipe Rider. Now, I couldn't find much info about Ice's current weapon pool, but I do believe Ice also dabbles in the heavy edit Splatling as well for another tacticooler option. But take what I said with a grain of salt. Now, for our next player, we have .Q. Q is also a sniper player who mainly plays the Sniper, but can also play other long-ranged one-shot chargers. I do believe that since Ice and Q are both Sniper backliners, that the two of them will be switching in and out based on availability, with Q being the more active member of the two. For our fourth player, but not our final one, we have Jared. Jared specializes in the Splat Dualies class, with playing the vanilla Splat Dualies most commonly, but also can play a very good Dualie Sculpture. Unfortunately though, the Dualie Sculptures are not in the best spot at the moment. For our final player for Milky Way, we have Ant. Ant is a shooter player who I have seen more recently playing the 96 Scal Deco and the Frozen Splattershot Pro. However, in the past, I have seen Ant play the Splattershot Junior and NZAP, so we could see those used as well. Now, I did mention a lot of teams, but there is bound to be more that will pop up every now and then that I missed or overlooked. I hope to see people try to prove themselves and enjoy the NA League. I know I will be participating with my new team Miracle and hope to make some upsets happen. I will be live streaming my runs and practices whenever we do them on Twitch as well. But, as always my friends, take care of yourself. Have a good night.